Hello everyone, welcome to the latest episode of the Bunkered podcast in association with Callaway. I am Michael McEwen. Thank you very much for tuning in. It is Tuesday the 9th of September. I've just realised that it's one of my pals' birthdays today and I have totally forgotten. Good friend as well. Remind me when we finish recording this. Okay, I have to send him a message.
Will do.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, oh no. The problem is, he's that guy who messages me like before I get out of bed. I wake up and there's a WhatsApp, 1 minute past midnight. He's that guy in there with the message. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great year. Hope the girls spoil you rotten.
And you've forgotten up until nearly lunchtime here. It's just as well we're doing the podcast today. You would have forgotten completely. So
I genuinely would have.
Yeah. If he's been texting you 1 minute after midnight, he's probably expecting the same back. So he's not slept.
Yeah. He's been waiting.
Just
looking at it, turned,
swiping away all the other notifications. Yeah, I'm sure that's lovely, man. Thanks for the messages. Where's Michael's?
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
we'll remind you at the end of this.
I appreciate that. No, please don't forget.
Nope.
Anyway, you heard their voices there. My lovely, delectable co-hosts, the Debbie McGees to my Paul Daniels, bunkered performance editor Lewis Fraser, about the same size, frankly, as Paul Daniels, and a man who probably eats Paul Daniels' size plates of food for breakfast, gear editor James Tate.
Hello
gentlemen. Welcome.
Hello, Michael. Thanks.
How am I?
Yeah.
Thanks, James. I would be a whole lot better if I could just send a WhatsApp right this
there
second.
You go.
Do you have your phone? Do you want to actually send it to him right now on air?
You can wait.
Okay.
I'm just going to take a quick note.
Yeah, I did put it in my notes after Podder.
But no, apart from that, I'm good. I'm in a good place. Weekend was fine. You know what? I did actually spoke. It's funny.
Yes.
Podcast.
I
was
saw that,
speaking at the Balfron Book Festival, the inaugural Balfron Book Festival. And I was the first ever speaker at it, talking about books and writing. Obviously, their budget was tight. I'm guessing Joe Nesbo said no, and whatnot. J.K. Rowling unavailable.
Busy.
She's probably tweeting. So yeah, it was lovely. It was really nice. It was a fun evening and something I would like to do more of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, there
I
you
like
go.
talking.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we
Strange
can attest
funny
to that.
that.
Yeah. If anyone wants Michael to speak after dinner or any events that you've got coming up, get
in touch.
Yeah.
You know where to find him. He's right here. So yeah.
You're like my agent.
Yeah.
3%.
I can do that.
3%.
Right, we'll talk about that after the birthday shout out. We'll do some negotiations.
The Scottish national team, not a massive disappointment.
Fantastic.
4 points from 6. That was good. And
that is good, to be fair.
I haven't played much golf of late. So unlike when at the start of the show, I would usually say, what you got up to? And you're like, I played in the Texas Scramble at the weekend. You probably played 3.
I did, actually.
Chances. And you're away like getting ready for the World Long Drive Championships. And I don't really have much to contribute. So instead, I'm going to throw in a little mention here for my wife's cousin's son, Adam Bauer. Adam is, I don't know how old he is, I think he's mid-20s. Absolutely top lad. Really got into his golf in a big way in the past couple of years.
Good stuff.
Adam had his first hole-in-one last week.
No way.
It's fantastic.
First hole-in-one.
That's amazing.
At Balmore Golf Club, I think it was. She obviously has the picture up there, holding, this one strap over the shoulder, holding the ball, cheesy grin.
Buzzing.
I'm absolutely disgusted, to be honest with you. Can't help but take it personally. The golf gods are going, you've been playing 2 minutes, have a hole-in-one, something that Michael's not done in the last 40 years. But
this is it.
Yeah.
Well done, Adam.
Good on you, Adam.
Fair play.
Congrats. So, that's my golf contribution.
Yeah.
How about you guys, James? What's the latest in your world?
Literally, no pun intended, getting back into the swing of things after winning last weekend. So, just gearing up for World Champs. Had a lesson actually yesterday, which was quite good.
You seem to have a lesson like every single weekend. When we talk about this, you say that you've
probably
had a lesson.
What people should do.
Yeah,
isn't it? Yeah, normally when you're trying to get better at something, you
take a lesson.
Take
fair
a lesson,
play.
so they tell you what you're doing wrong,
Yeah.
so you can then
Okay.
recorrect that to be better.
I withdraw my comment.
There you go.
How you feeling?
Yeah,
you look relaxed, James. For the first time in a while, you look really loose.
I kind of feel. Thanks. I've been getting cupped a lot. Which is obviously you've seen the bruises on the back. But yeah, sports massages I've had probably 2 in the last 3 weeks, which is probably the most I've had in 3 years, to be honest.
Jeez.
But it's made a massive difference. My body actually feels good instead of feeling broken half the time. But no, just gearing up for World Champs, feeling pretty good. I think speeds are a little bit low from where I was kind of wanting them to be, but it's just muscle memory, so that'll come back in a couple weeks' time, which will be in perfect timing.
Well, yeah, that's what they call peaking at the right time, is it not?
Correct. So just been working that, and then had a fight with a tree.
Yes, you did. That is wow.
The belter, eh?
That's a cracker.
Yeah.
And then
zoom in on that producer Dex.
Like Harry Potter.
Ouchie.
Yeah, ouch.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
I know. So was walking the dogs the other day. One was behind me, one ran in front. I was looking down and not looking up, and the tree, sucker punched me right in the head. So I've got an absolute shiner. So walking around the house like Harry Potter.
It's fine. You wear a hat all the time anyway, so it's all right for any of us for that to happen to.
Exactly.
Did you cry?
No, I tell you what though, it caught me flush.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought I was seeing little birds flying around my head for a split second. But I was walking with Ailey, and Ailey was just like, "Are you all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." It's like, "How?" It's like, "Am I bleeding?" She's like, "Oh, it's just it's a wee scratch." I came back. I'm like, "A little scratch."
Blood all down the side of the face.
I had dried blood down the side of my face and everything. Oh, it was
Patrick Bateman.
It was a massacre. Yeah, just walking around the woods with a bloody face. And great. It's not a good look.
We were talking about Patrick Bateman before you walked in there.
Really?
Myself and producer Dex. Yeah, that's so weird. With the Paul Allen business card thing. So
yeah.
There you go. Yeah. American Psycho chat over here.
Anyway, that was my weekend. Lewis.
Yeah. No
what
fights
are you
of trees,
No fights of trees? A Texas Scramble.
I was in quite a lot of trees, to be fair. Texas Scramble. Blairgowrie, the Lansdowne course there. Which is a
great golf course.
Yeah, fantastic. 2 really good 18-holers there. And was in a lot of trees. But we shot, what did we shoot? 61?
Rubbish.
So, rubbish. The Texas Scramble, no use. We're
not getting the job done at all.
We're 18th out of 36 teams, so right in the middle of the pack. We couldn't be any more central. If
Brighton and Hove Albion.
Yeah.
You're
Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Just absolutely mid-table obscurity, but enjoyable nonetheless.
Mid-table mediocrity.
I was going with obscurity, but mediocrity is fine as well. So, apart from that, delighted with how Scotland are looking. So, we're looking at flights for the USA next year. You're laughing, but it's true. In the group chat last night, the boys are looking at that. So hopefully we get some, obviously 3 group games in the World Cup when we qualify. So it'd be nice to have a good city in the USA. Even Canada would be good. Toronto or Vancouver.
Mexico.
Not Mexico, please. I don't want to go to Mexico.
Scotland are going to qualify for the World Cup, and our home games will
and
be like Guadalajara.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about. Yeah. But hopefully they'll
you might as well not get a return trip.
Just stay out there. You'll never see me again. So there you go. That's it. Yeah.
Bunkered's Mexican correspondent.
Where's Lewis?
Yeah, Carlos Ortiz exclusives every single week.
No, that's nice. I'm pleased for you, but I wouldn't go booking anything just yet.
No, we've not booked it. We'll wait until the games come out.
Yeah,
exactly. It's too much. Yeah, but feeling good about that. Confident.
Good.
Not quietly confident, clearly. So I've just said that. But
you said when we qualify, so you're
which I think
quietly confident.
Yeah, not quite.
Manifest.
Manifest, precisely, James.
Make your dreams come true, just like James here. Exactly. Right. Yes. Okay. Let's get on with the golf chat. There's a lot to discuss, and we're going to kick off with a little bit of Walker Cup chat for you coming up in just a sec.
The Bunkered Podcast, brought to you by the new Elite Driver from Callaway.
Yep, big thank you, Callaway. Huge supporters of my man James here. You can see, just lean this way a bit, James. That's the ticket. There's the Callaway Elite Driver that he's using to devastating effect. So, thank you, Callaway, as always. Big question this week, gentlemen. Should the Walker Cup be opened up to European golfers? So, most recent edition of the match. By the way, I should add, right at the outset, big disclaimer, I'm a huge fan of the Walker Cup. I had a great time there. First one I covered was 2007. Royal County Down, Rory's amateur swan song. Great players on show that time. Dustin Johnson, Ricky Fowler, Rory, obviously. Who else was there? Billy Horschel.
That
Chris
was the big
Kirk
rivalry, wasn't it? Horschel and McElroy. They wanted to do each
They
other
did
in,
not
didn't they?
like one
Didn't
another
get on
at
well
that
at first, no.
But what a match when you look back on it. It was great fun. So I love the Walker Cup, just throwing that out there. But the most recent edition took place at the weekend, and Great Britain and Ireland, led by Dean Robertson, on the wrong side of a pretty heavy defeat, let's be honest. 17-9, the US beat them at Cypress Point in California. GB and I they won the first session. That's the other part we can't forget. So they picked up the first session, but were trailing 6.5, 5.5 after day one. They halved the morning foursomes on the second day. Remember, 2 days of competition, unlike the Ryder Cup, which is 3. 2 days of competition. Halved the third session, so there was only a point's worth of a difference going into the final singles session, all players on the golf course, and it just got away from them. The US won 8 of the 10 singles, another one being halved. GB and I's solitary singles point coming courtesy of Gavin Tiernan with a 2-1 win over Michael Lasasso. Great name.
Brilliant name.
Conor Graham, he got a half point against his fellow 18-year-old Mason Howell. A very impressive half point, actually, to be fair.
He played incredibly well.
But yeah, it wasn't to be for GB and I. It is their 5th defeat, gents, in the match in succession. And yeah, if I'm right in saying, that last win was 2015. They haven't won in America since 2001.
Yeah.
The next match takes place next year, funnily enough. The match would usually take place every 2 years, but it's shifting to even-numbered years to avoid a conflict with the World Amateur Team Championship, the Eisenhower Trophy. So next year's match is taking place at La Hinch. I'm going to talk more about venues, perhaps, in a little minute. But obviously, another defeat, and people are out there saying that it is time for the Walker Cup to do what the Ryder Cup did in the late 70s, and that is expand from GB and I to Europe. Europe versus the USA is the suggestion that's been tabled. I'll bring in some listeners' thoughts and followers' thoughts in a second, but before I do, I want to gauge you guys' opinions. James, start with you. What do you reckon?
I think, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to the Walker Cup. I think, it's been going on since 1922 to build relationships with America through golf. I don't think it needs to change. I love the way it has been and the way it will continue to go. I think if you were going to kind of make those bigger changes, and let's say you start bringing in, European players, we already have that. It's called the Ryder Cup. But there's also a chance for, younger players as well to play in something like that, and that's the Junior Ryder Cup. But I think, yes, we are maybe getting a bit of a pasting, shall we say. But I don't think it's necessarily, a bad thing to happen. But it also, if you were to bring in Euros, it takes away the chances for other guys to get the opportunity to represent their countries as well.
Like GB and I players specifically?
Yeah.
Right, okay. So long and short of it is, you like it the way it is.
Yeah.
And we'll maybe drill into some of the reasons for why then we're on the receiving end of so many, consistent defeats, and why it is such a struggle to win away.
Yeah.
Lewis, James is in the don't change camp. Where are you?
I'm in the don't change camp as well. I've thought a lot about this, and I can see both sides of the argument. But for me, James has kind of nailed it in that the competition isn't about the competition, which might sound a bit strange, but this is about giving experiences to best amateur golfers from the USA and GB and I. And right now, the USA has top 6 ranked golfers in the WAGR, and probably quite a lot of others in the top 20. It doesn't matter who you're going to bring in to play against the USA. They're probably going to win most times, and that's what's happening at the moment. So we can go into more reasons in a bit, but yeah, for me, I don't think it's time for change.
Well, I am completely the opposite.
I knew you were.
I think it is time to change it.
Yep.
And there are many reasons for it. Number one, I think that one of the justifications is, well, this is how we've always done it. That is, I think, in anything, whether it's golf, sport, any walk of life, just because something is the way it has always been doesn't mean that's the way it should always be. Evolution is something that we can't hold back. It's something that we shouldn't resist. And change is frightening. Change is something that we are conditioned to fight against as humans, as this species. But it doesn't feel like this is a sensible thing to resist. I get it. It's hard. It's changing years and years worth of tradition, but I think it is the right thing. Bear in mind, when the Walker Cup was invented, and yeah, you're right, James, it does predate the Ryder Cup, but when it was invented, golf wasn't as much of a global sport as it is now.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the current WAGR rankings, the highest ranked European, including GB&I, the highest ranked European is a lad from the Czech Republic, Filip Jakubczyk.
Yeah.
I mean, that, if nothing else, demonstrates that the game is expanding into new frontiers. And I don't think it is appropriate for the 10th best guy in Great Britain and Ireland to be going up against the best guys in America and us say that's an even contest. I would need to look for certain, but I would be confident in saying that there are 10 continental Euros who are ranked higher in the World Amateur Golf rankings than the 10th ranked GB&I player.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I completely get your point.
Let's look at, going down that list. So Filip Jakubczyk, you're right, the top 6 are all Americans. Then we've got a Czech lad. Then there's an English lad, Tyler Weaver, who played. He's in 10th place. Going down, the next highest ranked European. Where do you think he's from? Give me a country.
I can already see it.
So you can see it. Go for it. Where's he from?
Spain.
Iceland.
Oh, God, yeah, of course.
Iceland. Gunnlaugur Arne Sveinsson. Then we've got Cameron Adam. The next is a Norwegian, Michael Alexander Mjaseth. Further down the list, we then come to Luke Poulter. A German lad is 31st, Tim Wiedermeyer. I would wager right now that continental Europe and GB&I are... I think you get a stronger 10 than you do but just sticking with GB&I. I think it would make it much more competitive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, it absolutely would make it more competitive.
Isn't
I don't
that
disagree
then the
with
point?
that. No, I don't think it is.
So what's the point?
I think it's to give...
Tradition and honouring things that used to be important.
There's part of tradition there, but it's also a part of giving these players who are going to hopefully go on to have brilliant careers in the professional game the best chance to do that.
Don't continental Euros deserve that opportunity as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then just create a different tournament for them.
They have that. They have that in the St Andrews Trophy as well, and the Eisenhower Trophy, like you mentioned.
So Eisenhower is so different to the Walker Cup. I mean, it's every country pretty much. The St Andrews Trophy, we have GB&I. We have basically an equivalent for all of the main major match play events like Seve Trophy and so on. We have equivalents for that throughout amateur golf. But when it comes to the Walker Cup, we're going, but no, we better not change it. We need to make sure that the British and Irish lads get the opportunities. I just don't. No, not for me.
Why do you think it needs changed?
Because it's non-competitive.
Because of the scorelines.
I mean, the results speak for themselves. And at some point, it's a bit like the President's Cup argument. At some point, the event will be devalued if it's the same winner time and time again. And I mean, if you guys wanted, you could throw it back to me and go, well, would we be as quick to write off the US if they lost 5 in a row? You know what? Maybe.
Yeah.
Genuinely, maybe. There would maybe be a case to go, should we make it North America? I think, as I've said before, change is the price of survival. And at the moment, the Walker Cup has become a non-event. With the greatest of respect to the GB&I team, the selectors, the captains, and everyone behind the scenes, nobody was expecting them to win at the weekend. Nobody. I didn't see or hear from one person out with the camp who's like, this is going to be close. Everyone had assumed it was a foregone conclusion the Americans would win. That's not healthy, that's not competition, and that's not sustainable.
I still think it is competition, though. There is that. Up until the singles, it was very close. So that's, to me, is saying that this is still worthwhile. I don't think that adding continental Europeans is going to fix this issue, because the Americans are probably still... They're going to still be the favourites regardless.
Yeah. They probably will be the favourites, but they're the favourites in every single Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
But it's so much more competitive. Imagine the GB&I team that played in the Hero Cup was your team to play America in the Ryder Cup in a couple of weeks' time. Would you be confident that team's going to win?
No, but then
then it's less competitive and it's less compelling.
Yeah, I don't think it's less compelling. I was compelled watching it. And I think we're biased because we're all from GB&I here from Scotland.
Yeah,
but
token Norwegian over here in the corner.
No, well, yeah,
doing
of course,
a bit for the Norwegian royal
maybe
family.
that's where this is coming from. And look, I see that side of it. If you're wanting to watch this match to be a close competition, then by all means invite continental Europeans. But for me, that's not what this is about. But, like, you go to this event and it's about trying to nurture the best talent from the USA and GBNI, and I just
to the expense and detriment of all others.
Yeah, fine. Like, I don't have an issue with that.
So let me articulate why that might be an issue. It's the RNA and USGA that are responsible for delivering this event.
Mm-hmm.
They have global golf governance responsibilities. They're not the PGA Tour, which is running the President's Cup. They're not the PGA of America and the DP World Tour that govern the Ryder Cup. Their responsibility is to the development of global golf, is to the development of all players around the world, and it shouldn't be to the exclusion of all others.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a bigger responsibility. Now, if the Walker Cup wasn't governed by those two organisations, I'd see the point.
Mm-hmm.
But it is, and so the point falls.
Yeah. I don't think it does fall. Like, we can go back
Probably
and
not
forth
gonna
on
agree.
this. Yeah, we're not going to agree on this, but I do get your point. Like,
somebody
massively,
messaged me on Twitter and said, the competition is akin to Ohio State playing Columbus Senior High.
That means nothing to me.
Ohio State is one of the bigger universities in America.
Right.
He's basically saying it's like one of the biggest universities playing a high school.
Right, okay. That's not, though, because it's two nations up against each other. Look, the Americans have the best golfers at the moment. There's no doubt about that. You could bring in the rest of the world, and the Americans are probably still going to win this match, and it's still going to be comfortable. But on the same, right, look down, like, results from the last few years. There's actually been a lot that have been very close there. Like, there's been a 14-12, and I don't have the results up in front of me, but there has been close matches.
Yeah.
And up until the last session, 3 out of these 4 sessions were very competitive.
Yeah.
If you watched the Sunday morning game, like Tyler Weaver and Conor Graham you mentioned, that match is completely flipped on them. They should have gone and won that, and it should have been level going into the singles. So just because we've had, like, bad results in the last few years doesn't mean that this should be changed in my eyes. Like, I'm all for, I get your global government's argument and making this similar to the Ryder Cup, but the appeal of the Walker Cup to me isn't that it's similar to the Ryder Cup. You go to the Ryder Cup, like, you'll be going in a couple of weeks, and it is the biggest event in golf. Like, anyone who's been to a Ryder Cup will see this is an unbelievable stage for these players. You go there, and it's about the teams, and it's about the rivalry. The Walker Cup's not about that. You go, if you're at Cypress Point, like, anyone who's listening to this, if they were at Cypress Point, will be coming away from that thinking, what an incredible experience. Any of the players, whether it's any of the GBNI players, USA players, will be thinking that was unbelievable, whether they got beat or not. Went to the last event back in St Andrews, and as much as the result was similar because the USA are producing best amateur golfers on the planet at the moment. It doesn't take away from the experiences that GBNI players are getting. So by all means, like, it would be great for continental Europeans to play in this, but for me, like, some things in golf are just sacred and should be, and I get why you want change, but I don't want it. So
I hear you. The Ryder Cup is all those things that you just said it was, all those great things, because it changed.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be what it is now. I'm absolutely certain of it. Wouldn't be what it is now. It may not even still be going had they not changed. And they changed because it had become a non-event. You can argue the point about competitiveness and say, but the players are competitive, the sessions are close, the result is all that matters. There was too many instances of the Americans beating GB&I. Previously GB, by the way. Irish were fairly late arrivals. But too many instances of that. It was happening too regularly, and somebody had the sensibility to go, this isn't sustainable. We need to change now. Otherwise, we're not going to have an event. We aren't at that tipping point, I grant you, with the Walker Cup just yet. Couple more defeats for GB&I. I think it extends to 7 losses in a row. We will get to that tipping point. I'm certain of it.
Yeah, I agree with you on that,
James.
Like,
I think, I do agree with. I agree with you on that point, but I just think right now, you know, Lewis has touched on it. Like, some of the contests have been incredibly close. Like, if you actually look at the singles and what some of the guys won by, it's like 2-1 here, 2-1 here. That's not a huge loss in a singles match by any means. And as you know, like, you get a bad break here or there, a putt drops, a putt lips out. it's so marginal that, yes, okay, on paper, that looks like a heavy defeat, but there's so many things in every single one of those matches that could have gone like the other way as well.
But
didn't. So it
and
is
consistently don't.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But I think if there's one thing that, this, I say GB&I team, they were very much like a David going in against Goliath. But we always like a little kind of like underdog story as well. And I think that's
true.
That's a little bit of it as well.
But there's only so many times you can see David fight Goliath and lose
And get
before
his
you go,
arse handed.
this isn't a fair fight.
Yeah.
We should probably think about changing it.
We need backup. Call for backup. No, like,
oh my God, that's the Warriors.
And the cavalry coming at the back.
Yeah.
No, but look, I hear you. And I think, like I said at the beginning, I do like the tradition of the Walker Cup. I am very traditional when it comes to it. I think you do take away some of the opportunities from some of the guys that will maybe never get to represent their country at a higher level. But yeah, you are right and you're not wrong in saying that maybe it does need to change. I just don't think it needs to change right now.
You just don't want it. And you don't think it's necessary at this moment.
Yeah, exactly.
I hear that. That's totally fine.
I think if it was, like you said, let's say we do get handed another couple defeats, then that's probably when you need to kind of start looking at maybe changing it up.
Yeah.
But right now,
you don't think it's necessary?
There's definitely
I don't think so.
a sentimental argument here,
Yeah,
of course.
100%.
Listen, you're both totally entitled to be wrong. I respect that. It's not a problem.
You're the host, so you know.
Yeah.
Moving swiftly on. No, look. Okay, we've identified, and I think we've agreed that there might be a problem. Whether it's right now, there's a problem imminent or happening right upon us.
The problem is that the USA are really, really good.
Yeah, there's that.
And playing at a higher level.
That's something that we can't control, so let's control the
controllables. Maybe it's something that, what we need to do something better in the UK in developing younger golfers, because the Americans seem to be doing it better.
Well, there's a lot more Americans than there are Brits.
I know, exactly.
I think that's
a lot of the team from GB&I would have been based in the States, in America, and that's why
we have identified a problem, right? I think we're agreed on that. Whether it's happening right now or it's, coming down the line, it's there. So if you don't want to change it, then you know me. I don't like problems. I like solutions. If you don't like that solution, what else could we do that's going to try and elevate the match a little bit?
It's a good question. I think for me, there's been attempts. Well, Dean Robertson's a good example of this. He's the first professional to be captain of a Walker Cup side.
Yep.
And anyone who knows Dean will know that he's a brilliant character, and he'll have gone into this having left no stone unturned to try and give every single advantage to the team. So bringing in good captains from that out, you look at Junior Ryder Cup, like Stephen Gallagher, could be
great job done there.
Brilliant job there. Something along those lines could help.
The Curtis Cup have done that with Katrina Matthews. Taking the reins. Somebody like Paul McGinley. I mean,
there's a lot of chat on social media with that because it's going to be in Ireland.
Yeah.
I mean,
year, so that would be a great shout.
Yeah.
Total no-brainer for me. I would bring in Paul.
And
the
thing for experience, we're talking about experience of players being one of the most important things here. If you're bringing someone like Paul McGinley in who's played Ryder Cups and whatever else, that would be
the experience
invaluable.
Exactly. A proven winner, a lot of experience, like you say, someone that every single young guy in that room is going to look up to. They frankly probably aspire to be him and have people diss Paul McGinley all the time, and it pisses me right off. Like, he's just riding the coattails of that win in 2014 and getting lucky. Piss off. He absolutely owned that. And by the way, so many people would love that career. Fine, no major win, but everything else is right there. So those guys in the room would be looking up to him and going, yeah, I'm going to listen to him. I'm not saying they're not listening to Dean, right? Or they're not listening to people who've gone before him. I never used to
listen to Dean.
People like Nigel Edwards who've gone before him, or Craig Watson, or whoever else it might be. But I think someone who's been there and done that at the highest level of the game, not the amateur game, commands a different level of respect. Plus, we're running out of career amateurs that are going to step up.
Yeah.
That's why Nigel Edwards did the job like 3 times in a row, I'm pretty sure. Certainly multiple times. So that would, for me, that would feel like the obvious thing to do, to bring in somebody like McGinley. As you say, James, Lahinch next year.
Yeah.
What a time and place to do it.
You can't argue with the venues. If they were playing it in poor golf courses that weren't attracting much attention, you'd say, well, that's the next step.
Yeah.
Like, watching it's not often you watch something on TV and think that's absolutely incredible, but Cypress Point was just unreal. Like I was slack-jawed watching walks from like 15 to 16.
Unbelievable.
Just incredible. Like the TV coverage and social media coverage from the teams there, like just elevate the event so much for me. So you can't argue with that.
Really impressed, by the way, by what the RNA and USGA do with that. They've clearly gone, how do we wring every last ounce of our authority out of this event? I know, we'll go to only the best courses. Look at where they've been. So Cyprus, going backwards, Old Course St Andrews, Seminole, Royal Liverpool, LA Country Club, Royal Lytham, National Golf Links of America, Royal Aberdeen, Merion, County Down, Chicago Golf Club. And then look at what's coming up. Lahinch, like we said, 28, Bandon Dunes, 30, Princes, 32, Oakmont, 36, Chicago, 44, wait the distance, Pine Valley.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you just have to say, well done, lads.
That is unbelievable.
Finally, there's been a use for a blazer.
Just put all your...
Are you angling to get in? Well,
Just put all your bucket list courses down on paper.
That's
it. Yeah.
There's only one that's missing. And we all know what that is.
Yeah, that's not going to happen though, is it?
Who knows?
No.
I don't know.
Do you worry?
I'll have a word with friends.
On a slightly more like serious point, going back to the continental Europeans, do you think if they were part of the match, we'd then take it round courses around continental Europe?
You'd have to. I was
which for me takes away slightly because links golf, that is a leveler for everyone, as we know. Bringing Americans over here, like where was it in 2015? Lytham and St Anne's.
Yep.
So I can only imagine that week the GB&I team have probably done well as a matter of that point. Does that worry if we're going to places like Marco Simone? Only mention that 'cause it's Ryder Cup venue.
That's the one thing about the Ryder Cup that I don't like, is that some of the venues are monumentally underwhelming, and I'm not going to name any names. Would I like to see a Ryder Cup played on a links course like we had, a generation ago? They played at Muirfield, for example. They played at the Old Course. Yeah, I'd absolutely love that. Yeah. Imagine a Ryder Cup on a links course. Yeah. The trouble is a Ryder Cup probably couldn't go to any of those because they're not big enough. It's a property now and they don't have the infrastructure to support. So maybe with
St Andrews would be the only one.
Probably. I mean, yeah, and even then it's probably a bit of a push, isn't it? You're trying to marshal that crowd that goes to the Open. You're trying to marshal all of them around 3-4 matches at any one time, with the exception of the singles, obviously. That's hard.
Good luck.
You need big bits
massive
of land.
Stands.
Marco Simone, like when I went there for the Ryder Cup 2 years ago, I was blown away by just how big that is.
It's a long walk.
Glen Eagles has 4.5 courses and a massive amount of land and a decent infrastructure. And then Le Golf National is the same, humongous stadium course. Adair Manor is going to be interesting. That's relatively speaking, it's a small site. Best facility you've ever used, but a small site in a tiny part of rural Ireland. That's going to be interesting.
Okay.
They'll figure it out. It's JP,
he'll just
JP
put
McManus
stands everywhere and make a stadium.
Well, yeah, JP McManus is putting the money up. If they're wanting to build new roads, JP will make it happen. He's got 2 years and it's probably on the case. But yeah, I think if you go to continental Europe, of course, you then need to bring in other venues.
Yeah.
But there are enough good venues on the continent. I think sometimes we just talk them down.
Yeah, that's true.
Somewhere like Brohof, for example, in Sweden, brutally tough stadium golf course. Would love to see a Walker Cup played there. Valderrama, potentially.
Yeah.
I mean,
love that course.
Le Golf National, like I've mentioned previously. There's some great places in Germany as well. There are lots of developing places, let's go to Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Thracian Cliffs or whatever it's called. They played a DP World Tour event there before the match play, so they could host the Walker Cup quite easily. Stunning location. Lofoten Links.
Well, that would be quite something.
I'd love that.
The air bill, the flights bill would be huge. But yeah, it's venues, to answer your point more succinctly, Lewis, you would lose some of the links courses, undoubtedly. I think that you have the potential to grow the event in multiple ways by going into continental Europe.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't think it needs to be grown. I think part of the appeal is how,
intimate.
Yes, that's the word.
Boutique.
Yes. Boutique. That's exactly what I was going to say. Look, I see both sides of it, and I completely get your point. We're not going to agree on this.
No, we're not. Some people on social media have been in touch. Craig Meikle, I think it should change. It would give the European AMs a taste of competition. Thank you. Clarkey, definitely time to change. I'm not just reading out the ones that agree with me. Someone on Facebook, it has to if there is hope that it'll be competitive. That's my burner account. Yeah, I think there seems to be
you have just read out the ones that agree with you.
I'm trying to find ones that don't. I mean, jeez.
No, right. I can read it from here. Everyone's saying like, yeah, it needs to change.
You guys are just the outliers, and I love
Fair enough.
But listen, as I said, that's quite all right. Yeah. Opinions are great. Mm-hmm. Facts are even better.
Okay.
Oh.
Let us know your thoughts. Get in touch. Slide into our DMs. Should the Walker Cup be expanded out and opened up to allow European golfers to compete shoulder to shoulder with their GB and I cohorts? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know. Before the break, gentlemen, asked and answered. Here we go. Again, I'll give you the correct response after the break. But before we do, if the answer is 35 years old, what is the question? Who wants to go first?
Is it the average age of the half-eaten Nature Valley bars in my golf bag that I tend to find?
Oh, that is disgusting.
Those things just get everywhere. They honestly just, you open them and then take a bite out of it and you think, I need to play my shot now, put it back in the bag, forget about it, and then it's just crumbs. You need to just get a new golf bag at that point.
And it becomes wet and mushy
it rains.
And moldy.
Oh my God, it's like mush. Awful.
That is one of the worst things about having a golf bag.
Yes, one of the worst things about the sport, to be honest. I think we need to be finding a way to get around this.
I've found stuff in my golf bag that I didn't even know I owned.
Oh, God.
And the bacterial element of it, you know, the mold and so on. I'm probably the new Alexander Fleming. I just don't know it yet.
Yeah,
like, there's the next penicillin is festering in my bag as we speak.
Your bag, like bananas, nothing.
Oh, jeez.
I don't eat bananas, but producer Dex is shaking his head. He's done it where you put a banana in your bag and then forget about it for
and
like
put
6
your
weeks.
Hand in blinds.
You go to grab a provisional because you're raging. Oh God, covered in banana now. Yeah, I'm guessing that's not the answer to this question. No.
It
could be now. Yeah.
That's absolutely rank.
James has got a different colour.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's because it's so true. It's like you put your water bottle and then all of a sudden you realise there's been a banana there for like the last 4 weeks and it's like,
I will take a pencil or a tea shooting up my nail.
Oh no, that's
more
worse.
than touching a 2-3 week old banana.
I don't know about
awful.
That. James, what about you? What have you got for us? If the answer is 35 years old, what is the question?
How old was I when I actually started believing in ghosts?
What?
You believe in ghosts?
I didn't until now.
Did you not just turn 36 last week?
Correct.
So hang on. Mm. What happened? Did you see a ghost?
I genuinely was convinced I'd seen a ghost. And I was like...
Go on.
So I was... where was I?
You had my interest. Now you've got my attention.
Yeah, so I was in it was in Porto at the TaylorMade event. I've not told anyone this because I thought it was going mental, but here we are. This could have been a great one for Bare Lies. But we were in this massive grand palace, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was a very old building, really old, and it was a wee bit dark, like no air conditioning in these rooms at all, roasting. And was going down the hallway. I was on the top floor, kind of walking towards the room. Everything's really grand. Corridors are really dark. And there was what I could only see at the end of the corridor, was like a shadow, and it just went like that and just shot. And I was like, looking behind me, I'm like, there's no lights projecting my shadow down there. What the fuck was that? And
no way.
I swear on my life, it was as if someone had just like bombed it. And that was.
Did you go and investigate?
Did a fuck? I locked my door and I went to bed. I've seen those movies, Michael. I would have been coming back in a box. I wasn't doing it.
Oh my God, that sounds like The Woman in Black.
Yeah, exactly. It was kind of like that. But instead of that kind of figure rushing towards you, it went the other way, thank God.
I was just a European golf journalist. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just roam about corridors.
But yeah, so that was that.
How didn't we know this?
I didn't want to tell anyone. I was
like, no, you just told the world.
Yeah.
So you do believe in ghosts now? You're convinced that what you saw was...
I'm convinced there's definitely
welcome
ghosts.
To the team.
Yeah.
Man.
Ghost hunter.
Ghostbusters.
You believe in ghosts?
I do now. Yeah, after hearing that.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. There's got to be something there.
Shaking his head.
Dex is interested in that.
Lives in
Lives
the
in
water.
the real world. Yeah.
Lives in the water. In the waves.
35 years old, Michael. Any suggestions in that? I know you did
No,
the
I've got the
notes, and
answer,
you know what it is.
actually.
But all right, okay. It's fine. Is it semis? Is it something to do with Stuart Hagestad? You got to be in your bonnet about.
So he's
him?
34.
Right.
And
okay.
I really admire Stuart Hagestad. He played in the US Walker Cup team at the weekend. Fifth appearance on the Walker Cup team. He is a career amateur.
He's
One
the
of the last
problem with
ones.
this match because he wins every match. He wins every game.
I've got a theory. I think he just loves playing the best courses in the world, but he knows
Yeah.
that as a mid-am, he's probably, or whatever level he's at, it's going to be harder and harder. So stick around. And if I turn pro, what's the best case scenario? I get in the US Ryder Cup team and I'm going to have to go and play, I don't know, some rinky-dink venue coming up in the next 10 years. Whereas stay am, like we've just discussed, well, he's played Cypress Point. Not many people have. Not many amateurs 34 years old have played Cypress
He'll
Point.
be at Lynch.
He knows what
next
he's doing.
year. Absolutely.
He knows what he's doing.
Oh.
But Stuart Hagestad is 34. So unless the question is how old will Stuart Hagestad be on his next Walker Cup appearance?
That wouldn't be a very good question, would it?
It wouldn't. It would be a bit shit. I will give the answer in the second part. Before I do, some suggestions from our followers on social media. Remember, you can get us on Twitter, X, whatever. The Bunkered Pod, search for us there, and facebook.com/The Bunkered Podcast. So we've got Steve the Ref. Steve the Ref's been in touch with something that isn't a point of order.
Well done, Steve. Hey.
Well done, Steve. He says, is it the age that Charlie Woods will be when he completes the career Grand Slam? Someone's got high hopes for Charlie.
Yeah, that's very high.
Probably won't win as a professional. That would be my guess. Stephen, at something like procrastinator, he's used, when you've got a word and then you throw in numbers in lieu of letters. Yeah. Well done, Stephen. Stephen says, how old is the worst ball in my bag that I can never lose?
That's very good.
You never lose a crap golf ball, do you?
No.
Tee up a new Chrome tour and it's straight in the water.
How many times have you grabbed a ball that you found literally from when you've gone and lost the original one, found it in the bush, teed it up on the next hole, played with that the whole round, and then played some of the best golf of your life?
Never. Not once.
No.
Dex is shaking his head.
Nodding his head.
Jamie Devlin, how long does your round feel like when the group in front of you won't let you play through?
Oh, that is tough.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
That's like pulling teeth.
Golf Minder. This is a weird one. At what age was Rory McIlroy last truly happy? But he's 36.
Yeah.
Or is it because he was 35 when he won the Masters?
Is it about like his sort of epiphany after climbing Everest, like we were talking about? Is it something to do with that? The point he's making. Dermot
Weston, how old is my putter?
Maybe.
Don't know, Dermot. I mean, you probably have the answer to that.
What model is it?
Yeah.
Like, when was it made? Maybe.
Yeah.
2005.
CB27. What is the average age of Steve Clark's subs? Yes, actually,
that's accurate.
That's
very
quite
accurate.
Close to that, yeah.
Andrew Hunter. What is the number of years older than his actual age that Scotty Scheffler looks?
Yeah, that's such good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Clarky, again, how old were the sheets in Michael's hotel room at the Masters?
Wow.
Yeah.
Hotels around there are bad, aren't they?
Is that in the ghetto?
Oh, just the absolute worst. Like, I don't even want to think about it.
Okay.
And Paul Clydesdale, finally. What age will Frankie Fleetwood be when he finally gets his ball over the water on the ninth hole at the Augusta Party?
That's a winner, right?
That's very good.
That is so good. If you don't know what we're talking about, Google Frankie Fleetwood's Masters interview. That wee guy is just...
It's already media trained as well.
He's the coolest, and that is one of the great interviews.
I've been trying my hardest.
You're right, it's the little rueful shake of the head. You're trying the hardest.
Just not making it this year, but I just got to keep practicing.
Unfortunately, none of those are the right answer. I will tell you what that is right after this.
Tee off with our exclusive Hot Eagle breaks at McDonald's Golf Hotels and Resorts, including Spey Valley Aviemore and Cardrona Resort in Peebles, both recent hosts of the Tartan Pro Tour, with stunning locations and a championship golf course featured at both 4-star hotels. One-night golf breaks from only £95 per person at Cardrona and £115 per person at Spey Valley. Be flexible on date and get the best rate. But be an early birdie. Limited spaces available. Search McDonald Hot Eagle breaks for more.
Welcome back, part 2 of this week's Bunkered podcast in association with Callaway, Michael, James and Lewis, and probably some books inspectors from Porto also here with you. Honestly, I now want to go to Porto, to where you were staying, to find that ghost. That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, lights off.
Yeah, I'm not going on that trip.
So before the break, oh, James, you're absolutely
Is anyone here?
Before the break, we were playing Asked and Answered. If the answer is 35 years old, what is the question? Great suggestions from those in the room, those on social media, but all wrong. The correct answer is, it's the age of Alexander Bjork, who's become the latest DP World Tour pro to retire, following hot on the heels of Mike Lorenzo Vera just, I think, a week ago. Bjork, Swedish player who made almost 200 starts on the tour, won once the Volvo China Open in 2018, I think it was, reached a career high of 59th on the world rankings. He said he's made the decision to spend more time with his family and start a new chapter in his life. Very best of luck to Alexander Bjork. Must be nice to retire at 35.
Absolutely. Good on him.
Something maybe that we're going to see a bit more of, though, in golf. I mean, it feels like there's been a lot of early retirements. I don't know if that's just because the top level of the game's shrinking and opportunities for these guys to make full and long careers, lots and lots of money out of playing professional golf is maybe not quite as broad an opportunity as it was previously.
Yeah, I mean, 35, I'll miss that boat, haven't I? So,
That's
over.
Just.
No, I think, I mean, firstly, it must be lovely. But secondly, I think, they've probably been on tour trying to chase that dream for like a long time as well. And it's, week in, week out, like all that traveling as well, like it will start taking its toll. Not being able to spend huge amounts of time at once with your families and stuff like that. You're probably at that age where you're wanting to become more of a family kind of man.
Yeah, and I just think when you're seeing like all the best players playing somewhere else in something else, and you feel miles away from it, but still playing at a high level, you must kind of feel, I don't know, you must feel a little bit like the game's forgotten you a little bit.
A little bit. Almost that feeling that you're kind of on the outside looking in a little bit. Like you have that elite group of players and maybe you just kind of come to the conclusion at the age of kind of 35, like, and you're just not going to be able to kind of, even though you are an elite level player yourself, you're just not going to be able to quite get to that
take the next step.
Yeah.
And Bjork's an interesting one. Turned pro in 2009 and took the long route. Swedish Golf Tour, Nordic Golf League, Challenge Tour, DP World Tour. He actually got his PGA Tour cards in 2024, so he played a little bit over there and was unable to retain it.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's hard graft going the long way.
It is a grind. You see that in DP World Tour now. Like it's a global tour. If you're wanting to, someone like Bjork's a really good example of that. And you mentioned he won in China, did he? So having to travel the whole world, you've got a young family at home, like the appeal can wear off pretty quickly if you're just out there grinding, trying to make cash. But I suppose in the point of like more players doing that, there's more money in the game to be made now. So if you're someone who has either had a couple really big paydays but then struggled, you're sort of grinding the Challenge Tour, do you think, do I really want to be doing this anymore? And if the answer is no, you can go back and be a club pro, like at the end of the day, or a teaching pro. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So yeah, I can see more players thinking, you know what, this just isn't for me anymore.
Yeah. Retiring early, instead of like getting to 50, holding out till 50 and joining the Champions Tour, if you decide to do that,
you've got to really love it if you're doing that.
Like you've got to love it, and you've got to love the traveling side of it as well. Because if you think about, not so much in America, but when you're playing on the DP World Tour, you're traveling all over the place, and you're going from Spain to Portugal to France. You're going all over. You're going into 4 different countries where they're speaking different languages, and then all the food's completely different as well. So like you're not getting any real consistency. So I'm sure you kind of find it when you've been on the tour for as long as your man has there. But like still, it's hard having to adjust every single week. Yeah. So it takes its toll.
Mm-hmm. It certainly does. It certainly does. Before we go much further, today, Tuesday, 9th of September, my mate's birthday, is also Thank a Greenkeeper Day. You may be seeing some of this if you're an active social media user. On behalf of everyone at Bunker, the Bunker podcast and everything else, we'd like to take the opportunity just to say a big chapeau to all of you guys out there, guys and girls who are maintaining our golf courses. Without greenkeepers, there's no golf. There's just big overgrown fields with guys with limos trying their best. But you guys do an incredible job. Underrated, quite honestly. You're the unsung heroes of the sport. You're the reason that we get to play golf. We get to play some of the best courses in the world and enjoy them to the extent that we do. So, and often at very antisocial hours as well, getting up at 3 a.m. I've done it for a day. I was a greenkeeper for a day with the team at St Andrews Links. And it was brilliant. Yeah. It was a nice day. You live in St Andrews, James. You know that on a beautiful morning, it's hard to beat. It was cold, but I can deal with the cold. But it was such a thrill to go out and be part of that for a day. I totally salute anyone who makes a career out of it because, it's a tough job. It's a physical job, and you do all your work. You're finished by 9, 10 in the morning, and then you're putting your feet up, and some dick comes in and complains about the speed of the greens not being consistent from one to the next. You guys take a lot of flack. Just hope you know that you are appreciated. So all of you greenies that are listening, keep up the great work and thank you for all that you do.
Absolutely.
James, you're wearing something rather fetching today.
I am.
Tell me about it.
So this is the Under Armour brand new Warning collection.
Oh.
Ahead of the big head-to-head between Europe and the USA.
And a match that
in New
we
York.
Can't really talk too much about.
Which is why I'm talking in riddles right now.
Yeah. The Battle of Bethpage.
The Battle of Bethpage, which is also going to be the secret code.
Right, okay.
Well.
I don't know what's going on here. Just if any listeners are really confused, so am I.
So basically, James is wearing this lovely, fetching, bright blue Under Armour hoodie.
It's pretty cool on the back, actually.
Oh, I do like that. Warning, only for highly skilled golfers. Oh, I see.
That's why we didn't get one, Michael.
Very fetching. I do like it. And so there's a whole capsule collection there.
Yeah, there's a whole capsule collection. There's a hoodie. There's also another pullover as well. I've got the t-shirt on underneath.
Nice.
Got the warning as well. And there's also a polo as well. But it's obviously with the Battle of Bethpage coming up.
I see.
And the warning is based on one of the signs up at Bethpage as well.
Not familiar with that sign. I'll need to look it up.
There you go.
So very cool new range.
Really cool. Nice and bright blue. Very
on brand for something that's happening.
On brand for, you could say, like a European team or something like that.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
So,
but it's very comfortable. Very nice.
Under Armour have very kindly given us a hoodie and a polo shirt to give away to one lucky listener. So this is very straightforward. Basically, we're going to play a game of James's magic word. I immediately regret this. James is going to give us, in a second, a magic word. And what you need to do with that is go to the Bunkered website, bunkered.co.uk/competitions, follow the on-screen prompts. You'll then have a little form to fill in where you have to input James's magic word, give us your personal details like your name and email address, your sizes. And from that, one lucky winner will be drawn at random to receive one of these hoodies and a polo shirt, very kindly donated by Under Armour. That makes sense to you, Lewis?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Excellent.
I'm following.
Good. In that case, James, with no further ado, please make this as straightforward as possible. Yeah. What is James's magic word?
Competition. We're going to keep it...
For God's sake. That's useless. You've got one chance to pick any word you want. You pick competition.
I
for
know.
competition.
Well, I was going to go really, ridiculous.
Yeah, do.
But I'm not. Just keep it nice and simple. Competition. Enter it now.
React to something like that ever.
Okay. James has spent a lot of time thinking about that. The magic word from James is competition. Go to bunkered.co.uk/competitions. Follow the on-screen prompts and you could be the lucky winner of one of these hoodies that James is modelling and a polo shirt to go with it as well. Right in time for, I don't know, the end of the month. So, yeah, excellent. Thank you, James.
You're welcome.
That was worth it.
Anytime.
Let's talk a little bit about Rory McIlroy and that win last week in Ireland. Mr. Tate, those scenes on Sunday, the fans going crazy. Describe that for me. What was that like?
Oh, it was, I don't know. It was almost like watching a repeat of Augusta, to be honest.
Yeah,
wasn't it? It was unbelievable. I think, it all started off with him holding the eagle putt on 18 to force the playoff. And that in itself, the place just erupted. You could see the kids behind the green just going absolutely mental. I'm like, well, that's going to stay with them for forever. But yeah, I mean, to do something on home soil like that with the crowd, right behind you, and to hole a putt that's, a good 25 feet for eagle, it doesn't get much better than that, does it?
It was spectacular.
It was amazing.
I haven't heard a roar like that outside a Ryder Cup for a very long time. It's one of those ones that, I don't say this often, but I wish I was there, Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to be part of that scene, to be part of that noise, that atmosphere, experience it for yourself in person would have been something pretty special, in my opinion. I mean, is it just Rory that can do that? Because he seems to have something special about him.
I think it is. I was thinking about this before. I do think it's Rory. He mentioned after the round that maybe John Ram in Spain could have a similar reaction, but I don't see it, to be honest. I think Rory, the crowds over there are so passionate for him. I saw it at Portrush. You wouldn't have thought Scheffler was about to win the Open because every single shot that Rory was hitting was the main event on that Sunday. So
he's a hero to the country.
He is an absolute hero to the
island.
To the whole island. Yeah, he's an absolute legend to them. So something like that's just incredible. Like James said, like the noise coming through the TV, you almost hear it like real life. If you opened the window, you probably could have heard it across in Scotland.
Yeah.
Just an unbelievable reaction, like kids celebrating as if
and those were the best.
They just won the World Cup.
There's a great angle that the DP World Tour managed to capture, which shows fans behind Rory, and there's a father, I presume a father and a son, and their reaction, jumping up and down, hugging each other. It was like Ireland had just scored the winning goal in the World Cup final. It was just spontaneous, and it was just all the good stuff.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I got out of the couch as well. I was like,
really?
I was like, yes!
Straight into a tree.
My nephew Archer, who's only just turned 1, was like to the left of me, and Camilla was there with the little ones as well, and my mum.
Your sister's Camilla, just for the voice of doubt. That's a couple of women.
Ailey got a mention.
Don't want people thinking.
Yeah. So Ailey, mum, Camilla, and then my 2 nephews were there, and all of our arms went in the air, and the Archer started crying his eyes out because he got the shot. So, but no, like even I was like over the moon because I was like, oh, if he holds this is just going to be mental, and he did, and I was like, no way. It's just amazing. But
you just knew he was going to make it, though, didn't you, Mike?
I think that's part of the reason why it's so good.
Yeah.
Because with Rory, you don't always know that he's going to make it. With Tiger, it felt like there was a sense of inevitability. Like, I think back to the 2008 US Open at Torrey Pines, and he needs to hold that 20-foot putt across the green that is just, picked to pieces, just bobbling all over the joint. Even then, you felt, well, this is a Tiger moment that's about to happen.
Yeah.
With Rory, I never have that same certainty. And I think I've seen the movie too many times to know that it doesn't always work out like that, which I think is why when it does happen, you tell yourself this could happen.
Yeah.
Rory has that ability. Not all golfers have that to the same level. With Tiger, it was like, this will happen. With Rory, there's a good chance this will happen. And then when it does, you're like, holy shit, I can't believe that just happened. That's absolutely incredible. So I think he makes you feel things without sounding too pretentious. He makes you feel stuff that other golfers just don't. I think it's modesty on his part, false or otherwise, when he says that John Ram does the same thing in Spain. Yeah. John Ram's not the biggest deal in sport in Spain. That's probably Carlos Alcaraz right now or Lamine Yamal. John Ram is a big deal, but he's not the deal. Rory is the deal in Ireland. No disrespect to all the other Irish athletes out there. Rory's comfortably the very best of the lot. He's their Pied Piper.
Yeah.
So
there's not many golfers that have that cut through to other sports
Transcendent
fans?
appeal.
Well,
I use the WhatsApp test. You're quite right. I use the WhatsApp test on, again, a reminder, I need to message a mate. On Sunday, when I was watching that, my phone started pinging.
Yeah.
Some pals that are really into golf and some pals that aren't. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Rory makes that difference. Those pals that aren't into golf aren't messaging me like that if...
Shane Lowry.
Correct. No disrespect, Shane, but that's the case. I think Shane would admit that himself. Rory, to your point, Lewis, connects with a broader church of people than most other golfers.
Yeah.
I love him for it.
Yeah, I love him as well. I think, unlike the point of it being inevitable that was going in, on his second shot, I was like, if he hits the green here, he's going to make the putt. But he could also hit this into the water, and you're thinking, what an idiot! How have you done that with an 8-iron? That's why we love him, because he's not robotic.
Yeah,
you'll have moments where, like the 13th at Augusta, where you think, what on God's green earth have you just done there? But then you can pull off the spectacular as well. He's so good to watch. You said it yourself. Like, he is the needle. Like, he doesn't just move the needle. Everything that he does gets a reaction when he does something like that. Just incredible.
Yeah, the one thing I did think that was probably going through his head was he's hit an even harder shot closer before with that 5-wood when he's won there previously.
Good point. Yeah,
so
I forgot about that.
Because that was a good, because I saw the plaque. It's like 260 odd yards around about that. And you stand and you look at him like, Jesus Christ, what a shot that is.
Solid 7 for you.
Easy. And but then you're kind of like, right, he's got an iron in hand. This is a flick. Like, he's got so many good memories of having to produce the goods when he needs to do it. He's probably like, right, yes, there's maybe a bit of nerves, but there'll be a whole load of confidence in there as well. And he just stepped up and executed one of like a good shot, like one where it's just giving him a chance, and then he's just converted the putt as well.
Some boy.
Yeah, unbelievable.
He was asked where this season ranks amongst his best years because, so he's won his home open again. By the way, find you someone that loves anything, or you, ideally, as much as Rory loves home national opens. He is. I love the fact that he treats them with such respect, bordering on reverence. He's elevating the likes of the Irish Open, Scottish Open, the Australian Open later this year, South African Open he's played before. I love that. He totally buys into the fact that these are important. It's not just, some guy came along representing a company a couple of years ago that's got tons and tons of cash and let's just create something that's big. He's like, no, this matters. This has got names on it that I respect and I grew up admiring and wanting to emulate. I want to win those. These are the events that matter. I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool and commendable. But he obviously he's won his home open. He's won the Masters. Let's not forget, he also won the Players. I mean, we kind of forget that he won the Players.
Because of the way it happened, the Masters after it. Yeah.
Exactly. And he won at Pebble Beach. Clearly, he says this season is right up there amongst his very best. James, it's number 1, isn't it?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I don't think you need to question whether or not it is. But yeah, I mean, he's had a hell of a year, hasn't he? Let's be honest. And I think what would make it even better is, taking it to the Americans, obviously, in the Ryder Cup. That would be the icing on the cake for him. That would literally, you could not have a better year than that. No matter how hard he tried, if he won.
I mean, Port Rush would have been nice.
Yeah, but it wasn't meant to be. But yeah, I think if they get the Ryder Cup over the line, he's not going to be able to repeat that at all. That's one that's just going to live with him forever.
James is right, Lewis, isn't he? I mean, if Rory was writing down his ideal wins this year, then there's only one that's missing and one that could still happen.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's his best year. I think it was his best year by the middle of April, to be honest. Anything after that is just a bonus. Let's be honest. He'd been wanting to do that since 2014, and he did it. And it's interesting. We spoke about at the time about, is this going to free him up and he's going to, do a play like the Rory McIlroy we know he can. And for a couple of months after, it didn't quite work out that way.
It almost felt like the converse was true, that he needed that burden, that chip in the shoulder, that thing to strive for.
Yeah, and we kind of debated whether this was going to be the start of a downward sort of going towards autumn of his career kind of thing. I think we were talking about, and the second half of the year has proved that's probably not the case, because he can still pull off these incredible moments. He competed in the Open, like he wasn't far away at all. I think he had a brilliant week, like he really enjoyed it. Won the Irish Open, and now, like you say, James, going across to the States, and that would be, the icing on the cake is the way to put it, because he's had an incredible year no matter what happens. And
he's at Wentworth this week for the BMW PGA Championship. We'll talk about that in a second, but we can't ignore, there's no other way to put it, a sour couple of moments at the Irish Open with the treatment of Joachim Lagergren in the playoff. Obviously, Rory is the big, heavy home favourite. There's a partisan crowd that are cheering him on. I think for me, what was disappointing was that partisan crowd didn't stop there. Yeah. Cheering on Rory is fine, and that's the whole point. But they were actively and audibly rooting against Lagergren, shouts of get in the water after he was hitting some of his shots. We are gonna, I'm almost certain, be talking a lot about boorish American fans in a couple of weeks, and we've been speaking a lot about the prospect of that New York crowd. You know what? Got to call it out when we see it on our side of the pond as well. And, there was a lot of it at the Open. Scottie Scheffler was subjected to some pretty grim treatment when we were out there. We heard it ourselves. And then Lagergren getting that's crossing the line, James, is it not?
100%. I think, obviously, our friends across the water like to drink. So I think, it's a long day. There's been a lot of people having probably a few too many scoops. And yeah, people probably getting a little bit brave, I think, with some of their words, but it doesn't...
and stupid.
Yeah, and it doesn't excuse it. It shouldn't happen, Yes, Rory is the hometown favourite, and everyone's wanting him to win, but you have to respect the other golfer as well. He's also there to do the same job. Especially in the way that he managed to get himself there, which was that ridiculous 5-wood on 16, which he eagled, and then obviously birdied 18 too. Like, he is got every right to be there as Rory McIlroy. He's earned his way into that playoff.
He's earned their respect.
Exactly.
Well. He's entitled to expect it.
And I quite honestly, I would expect better from an Irish crowd, if I'm really honest as well. With, as we know, that like Irish people in general are very welcoming.
Just a couple of morons like the outside.
Yeah, and that's kind of it. There's just a couple of people thinking that they're probably being funny to their mates, kind of thing. Yeah, and acting a fool. But
God, even that's best case, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
It's generous.
I know, but you have to feel for him as well, because like he played some incredible shots. Especially in that playoff, and to handle that the way he did against someone like Rory McIlroy was very, very impressive. But the fans they just need to be better. They need to do better, and I don't know what you're going to do to try and stop that, because you just don't know what people are going to do. They're unpredictable, unfortunately.
How do you stop someone when you've got a huge number of people there? You can't stop everyone. So
yeah, exactly. So,
and I think the difference for me, Lewis, is Ryder Cup, team event, tribalism, and team sports do tend to go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Individual sports, I think we all as sports fans know when to root for and against.
Yeah.
And at football matches, I will root for and against. I'm not going to pretend I don't. I mean, I will cheer against the opposition as much as I cheer for my team. Individual sports has never been like that. I've got my favourites with tennis. I always wanted Andy Murray to win. I never, ever, ever cheered against or tried to distract anyone he was playing, or Jamie Murray might have been playing. And it's the same with golf. I'll cheer on the guy that I want.
Yeah.
But I will not undermine and disrespect the individual that he's against.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Absolutely, it does. And golf, like you say, individual sports are so different, but golf in particular, like, guys cheering when Lagergren's putts were missing and then shouting, like, pretty much every shot that he hit was followed by shouts of get in the water, which is poor. But it is a minority. Like, most golf fans there will be absolutely fine and want Rory to win. That's absolutely no problem. Cheer for him and maybe just say nothing when Lagergren hits. But yeah, it did sour it a bit, like you say. I just hate hearing stuff like that. There's no need to, like, just be respectful.
I think you've just nailed it. There's no need.
There's no need. And
it's just shit.
I don't know what. Like, you can't, unless Yeah, it's impossible to enforce, unless you actually chuck someone out. But then how do you do that? Because you can just say, oh no, it was him.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. So
yeah,
I don't know how it's going to get better.
I don't either.
And it's probably going to be worse. Beth Page Black.
Not going to, yes.
Yes,
to be
it
honest.
will be. Yeah, there's
well,
no point sugarcoating it. It's going to be worse.
The focus, as I said, now switches to Wentworth this week. Just a quick line on that. We'll probably talk more about that next week. But is it just me, or is the September date for Wentworth now finally starting to click? It's taken a while. I miss May, but I now look forward to Wentworth where it is in the calendar. I'm not sure it's the best place, but I'm more accepting of it. I look forward to it.
The way the golf season is now is that it's so condensed for the biggest events in the majors. So having something like this for UK golf fans, I think, is really good. It's weather dependent, of course, but anything in the UK is, frankly. So I think the date really works well. Like for this year, Ryder Cup, it's sort of a bit of a precursor to that. European team all getting together. And for that reason, it's really good to see the whole team kind of before they go off. But then even out with the Ryder Cup year, like I say, you have such a, like, everything happens at once in the golf season. It gets past the Open, you think, oh, is that it? Whereas now for golf fans around here, you have something else that you can look forward to, especially if you go into the event, because it's brilliant. Get so close to these players. So I'm all for it.
Fan of it?
Yeah, I mean, I was there last year for as part of the Shrixon launch.
So you were, yeah.
So I got to see a little bit of the Pro-Am as well, which that in itself is great. You know, you got the likes of Andy Murray playing, who is one of my heroes. But then you've also
Queue forming.
Yeah, exactly. Which is quite cool. I know he played in the last year, but to get to see even like your comedians like Michael McIntyre, love him or hate him, he is a great entertainer.
Is he?
But there you go. Point proven right there, isn't it?
It's just, it's too much.
It's too much now. He's
but here I am on the tee, and this is really exciting.
Oh,
and
just
it's
hit the ball.
And I'm going to run around and just piss off.
His hair just like all over the place. But yeah, he leans into character quite a lot. But then you've also got your your Gareth Bales and people like that as well, who are actually
real celebs.
Incredible, real celebrities who are actually very competent golfers as well. Yeah. So you get to see all these kind of celebrities and professionals kind of mixing up close on those days, which is great to see as well. And you can see the pros kind of relax and be themselves, and you can actually see their personalities a little bit rather than the kind of stern face like focused.
Yeah, it's a great field. The Pro-Am part of it is really elevated. It. The course is still the course. Let's be honest.
Yeah, the course is still the course. It's not anything. I played it a couple of times. It is what it is.
Forgettable.
Yeah, I would say. I think out of the whole. Yeah, I'd probably say 11, 12 to par 5, where you have to kind of hit over the big tall trees. That's probably
yeah.
It's probably
fine for you.
It's probably the most memorable hole, aside from 18. But that's it. And even still, that's a push. Maybe 17. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But no, I like it. I think, like we're saying, it's a great event to especially have. 11 out of the 12, there from the European team for the Ryder Cup is also pretty cool to see. Just shows you the level that's going to be there this week.
Absolutely. Yeah, should be fun. We'll talk more about that next week. Before we go, time is marching away, so no time for bare lies today, I am afraid. We'll finish up instead with Podder of Merit. Going back 2 weeks to the European Masters, Omega European Masters. I say that in the hope that Omega will send me a Seamaster for being so kind as to mention them. Not holding my breath. No. Cromantana, stunning. Always great. Every year we get two things with an absolute certainty. In January, it's Dubai, when someone compares a picture of Dubai 1980 or 1990 with Dubai now. It's like, oh, look at the difference. And with Cromantana, it's like, is there a more stunning setting on tour? Well, the answer is no, there's not. It's beautiful. Get back to the bloody golf. So, yes, picks. Lewis, you had gone with Matt Fitzpatrick, former winner there, of course, a connoisseur specialist. And so it proved once again, finished in 5th place.
Yep.
Timely, probably punched his ticket for the Ryder Cup off the back of that. James, you went with another Ryder Cup hopeful, not to be in the end, Marco Penge, who finished in the tie for 8th. And I don't know why I bother, to be honest.
Miss Cut McEwen. That is your nickname.
I mean, MC, you can't spell McEwen without MC.
Yeah, true. We should actually get the listeners to send their picks.
Just pick someone for me.
Someone else. Yeah.
You're struggling here.
I went with Aaron Rai, who again needed a big week to have any chance.
That's
Even then, it was remote, but any chance of getting into the European team. And he
flopped.
Missed the cut.
Yes.
So let me see. Lewis, 2 points for you. James, 1 point for you, 0 points for me, which means that at this still very early stage of this podder season, Lewis, you're on 6 points. James, you are on 2. We both know. We all know what I'm on.
I don't know. What are you on?
0 point.
0 point.
Nada.
Oh,
Zip. Zilch. 0.
It's tough, isn't it?
Note.
There's still time though, like you say. There's still
It's
time.
still very early on.
All you need is a couple winners.
Season, yeah.
You pick
All
winners
I
in the
need
next
is
two.
all
To pick
I
the
need
next
is
two
predict
winners.
the next 2 winners in golf.
Easy.
Oh, jeez. I used to be good at this game. Then you guys joined the podcast and it's all gone to shit. So, pick order for this week: BMW PGA Championship at Wentworth. Lewis, James, and then I'm sorry in advance.
Listeners.
Lewis, on you go.
Yeah.
Who are you choosing?
Well, I was saying to James that I thought I'd pick someone left field because I'm aware I keep picking favourites for events. And James
It's
said,
kind of
no,
the point,
don't do that. Don't do that. Just pick who you think. So I'm going to pick John Ram for that reason.
That's an interesting one.
You think?
John Ram.
Yeah, like you need to drive the ball well round Wentworth. Like James talking about so many tree-lined fairways, as we always like to say. Oh well, no, I'm still picking him. Like he's due. He's going to win at some point. He's playing so good on live, and
That's the point. He's been playing well, but hasn't won.
yeah. Well, as long as he makes the cut, then you'll beat your bloke. So
Playing the percentages.
yeah, playing the
Very good.
percentages. So I'm quite happy with that.
James.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Yeah, fair enough. First win on home soil, that would be for him, I gather. Hasn't won in England before, has he? I mean, there's not many events in England to begin with.
No. That would be a good one for him.
Comes into it with good vibes, good juju.
Yeah, you would think so, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
And I think you can definitely tell by the way he's played this year and the way he's striking the golf ball. There's every chance he's going to produce that on, at Wentworth. So yeah, go on, Tommy.
I'm looking at the
Thanks
list.
for listening.
Thanks for listening. Anyway,
I'm looking at the list going, who do I dislike the most?
why don't you
Who are you going to jinx?
choose anyone from there?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm thinking, who deserves it?
Who's going to miss the
Oh
cut this
God,
week?
whoever you pick this week is going to be like, does Michael not like me?
I'm just so sorry. I'm so sorry in advance, Ryan Fox.
I knew you were going to choose him.
Great record round there.
Previous
Great
winner.
Yeah, true.
And I genuinely,
I had a feeling.
I cannot
looked
express
at
this
him
enough.
too.
I feel really bad for this because I feel like I am now the jinx. I love Ryan Fox. We all love him. We've all met him. He's a solid guy, such a good bloke, and he deserves better than to be picked by me for Pod with
Lumbered.
Merit.
Yeah, the shirt's too heavy.
Who'd you not like then? Maybe
Yeah.
you should start choosing them.
Oh, dearie me. I'm actually looking for someone I don't like. No, I like them all.
All right.
Even
No, no,
even your
no,
Let's
no,
not do this.
no, we're not going there. No, that's a different podcast for a different time. Ryan Fox, I am genuinely so sorry.
in advance.
You're a top man. Love you to bits. But I need to get some points on the board. And if the universe is going to work in my favour, if yin and yang is a thing, if balance is even a thing, then you'll probably win this week and I will get 3 points and I am right back in there.
But
Good luck, Ryan.
yeah.
If not, I'm turning my phone off on Friday. So there we have it.
Oh dear.
Oh, God almighty, what have I done? Anyway,
Poor guy.
Can't wait for that.
gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Birthday. Thank you.
Birthday. That's good. I enjoyed that.
Yes.
Birthday.
I will do that straight away as
Yep.
soon as I wrap
Good.
this up. Thank you for your time, gents.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Michael.
Always,
Cheers.
Producer
Thank you,
Bex,
James.
thank you. Thank you, Callaway, again, for your ongoing support of the podcast. Doesn't go unnoticed and is very much appreciated. And thank you to you for listening, watching, however you consume. Appreciate it very much indeed. We're getting very close to the Ryder Cup. A reminder that we'll be doing daily podcasts from Bethpage, probably with some rabid New Yorkers shouting obscenities in the background. So they'll be coming to you every single day from Bethpage. Get ready for that. And yeah, lots of content happening across the board. Keep across the Bunkered social channels. Keep on top of all the latest stories and talking points. And our website, obviously. Make sure you enter that competition to win the Under Armour goodies. And until next week, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, particularly Ryan Fox, it's bye-bye for now.